fire on one baby's mouth, then rocked the twin stroller back and forth with her foot. She had strolled the babies over on this beautiful early June morning and now sat visiting with me. She was blooming. There was no other word for it. Second motherhood, late though it was, certainly agreed with her. Of course, a lot of it had to do with the fact that on this go-round she had a husband by her side. Well, not literally by her side today, for Mr. Pickens was off somewhere doing his private investigative work while she reveled in her place as a well-situated matron, complete with spouse, 3 children, home, and social standing. It was all so different, from her first foray into motherhood, when she had kept her head down, raising Lloyd essentially alone, and avoiding notice as much as she could. That's what you do when you're a woman kept by a married man who wanted to keep his double life secret, which he did, until he keeled over one night in his new Buick Park Avenue and it all came out.
"What are you thinking of doing to it?"
Hazel Marie asked, picturing, no doubt, the pink and gold room upstairs that she, for the first time in her life, had decorated exactly as she wished. She had chosen pink velvet armchairs, faintly French in style, pink taffeta bed skirt and quilted coverlet, pink striated wallpaper, pink lamps, and pink carpet. Touches of gilt on picture and mirror frames and odds and ends throughout the room relieved the pink to some extent. It was a little much for my taste, but Sam and I had slept in it for months while she was on bed rest, relegated by her doctor to the large bedroom downstairs. But now she and Mr. Pickens, along with their baby girls, were ensconced in Sam's house 4 blocks away, and Hazel Marie was loving every minute of it. That meant, however, that Sam no longer had a quiet and private place to work on the book that he'd been fiddling with for so long. "Well, I'll tell you," I said, leaning my head against my hand. "The upstairs hall is stacked with boxes of Sam's papers and books, everything that was in his office at your house, so I have to make an office for him here. I've gone back and forth over this, and it comes down to either your room or the downstairs bedroom. Your room will be quieter for him, and the downstairs room will be larger for the 2 of us, so that seems the best solution. The only thing, though, is the walk-in closet you put in upstairs. I hate to give that up."
"Well, you wouldn't have to," she said. "You could use it for out-of-season clothes and for things you don't wear very often."
"Well, yes, I could," I sighed, trying to visualize Sam and me in each of the rooms. I've even thought of turning the closet into Sam's office. Goodness knows it's big enough. What it comes down to, though, is that I hate to dismantle what you loved so much. It's like, I don't know, resigning myself to the fact that you are truly gone."
"Why, Miss Julia," she said, laying her hand on my arm, "that is so sweet. I thought you'd be glad to have me out of your hair and on my own. Well, on my own with J.D., I mean."
I knew what she was getting at, safely married with legitimate children, and I was glad, but I still missed her in spite of the rough start we'd had. The 2 of us had spent too many years together, with me struggling to get over what she'd been to my now-deceased first husband, as hard as it still is to say. She had been his mistress, and the proof of it, in the person of Lloyd, had the run of my house. And those same years had been spent with her trying to fit in with my respectable and unblemished way of living. We'd each done a good job of arriving at a meeting of minds and living in harmony, if I do say so myself. In fact, almost too good a job, because I was left with an empty space where she'd once been. But I tend to look on the bright side of things, and the bright side of having her in Sam's house was not having little Julie and Lily May in mine. Oh, I was delighted with those twin babies, but I'd lived too many years in a quiet and well-organized home to adjust easily to the demands of growing children. Except for Lloyd, of course, whom I never minded having around, even though he was currently the reason for my unrelenting anxiety and feelings of dread. Lillian pushed through the swinging door from the dining room and stopped. I didn't know y'all was down here.